Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin Klemme, and I'm the music director at the Vermont Youth Orchestra Association. And in keeping with the Sweet Tooth exhibit across the hallway, I wanted to share that for 54 years, the Vermont Youth Orchestra Association has been doing research on the dessert preferences of teenagers. And what we discovered is every single time, Oreos and apple cider is a surefire home run. You can't go wrong. I have the pleasure as music director at the VYOA of conducting our most advanced ensemble. This is the Vermont Youth Orchestra. It's comprised of 75 students between the grades of 8 through 12, and they come from across the state of Vermont and as far away as New Hampshire and New York. Every week, we come together for 3 hours and we rehearse professional level orchestral repertoire together for performance. Over the course of our 54-year history, we've grown from that one orchestra, the Vermont Youth Orchestra, into an association that includes 5 levels of orchestra, 2 levels of chorus. We also provide instrumental group lessons in after-school programs funded by 21C funds in our area. We also provide what we call subsidized lessons for instruments that we affectionately refer to as endangered instruments. Students who study the bass, the trombone, the French horn, the bassoon, we subsidize those lessons to support their study of them. And we offer rug concerts and events that we offer at our home to introduce preschool-aged children to the instruments of the orchestra and to classical music. All in all, we serve nearly 300 students each year in our year-round programming in programs that impact infants to high school graduates. One of the things I've most enjoyed since coming to Vermont, I'm a new Vermonter, and I've enjoyed getting to know the incredible history of this organization, which goes back 54 years. This is the very first VYO, which began meeting in 1964 at Burlington High School. There were 43 students from 12 schools that met in that orchestra, and the visionary founders of the Vermont Youth Orchestra Association couldn't stop there. They wanted to provide as many opportunities as possible for their students to make friendships and to develop their skills. And so in 1969, they started our summer camps, and the alumni of the VYOA speak with great fondness about the memories they made at camp. Another priority for our founders was that it's important that kids play for other kids. And so in 1970, they launched an initiative that we still do today called our School Tours. And this is a picture of the VYO in 1983 performing a concert in Barre, Vermont. And our students take a day off of school. We travel around the state and we perform school concerts for our peers. In 1992, an important addition was made to our programming. In 1992, the VYO made its first international tour to Russia. And since then, as you can see, the orchestra has toured to such destinations as France, Germany, China, Iceland, and even New York City, where they performed a nationally acclaimed performance of living Vermont composers at Carnegie Hall under then music director Troy Peters. It was featured on National Public Radio and was a tremendous landmark in our history as an organization. Another landmark in our history as an organization was in 2001. We opened the doors to our home, the Ellie Long Music Center. This is a facility that sets us apart from other youth orchestra programs across the country, and it gives us the incredible opportunity to host all of our programs in our very own facility. Every week, Sunday is an amazing day at Ellie Long, and every Vermonter should at some point experience a Sunday afternoon at the Ellie Long Music Center. We've got 5 orchestras rehearsing on Sunday afternoons. Kids, students, parents, instruments, music, laughter, everything. You should all experience a Sunday at Ellie Long. It also gives us the opportunity to host rug concerts like the one you're seeing here, where preschool families from infants and toddlers to school-age children get to experience the instruments up close and personally. The very central mission of all that we do at the Vermont Youth Orchestra Association is not only to develop young people as artists, but also to develop them as citizens and as future leaders through the shared pursuit and joy of musical excellence. And so we're always asking ourselves, what can we do to infuse the music making and the music learning process with opportunities for these young people to make friendships with one another, and for them to discover ways to connect with their neighbors and to strengthen our community through the art form of orchestral music making and choral music making. We have the unique opportunity here of launching our season with a week-long camp that we call Reveille. It's how we kick off our season. And we spend 20 hours of that week in rehearsal, which is pretty rigorous, but we also spend as much time in activities like the ones you see here, building teamwork and cooperative skills, and yes, bowling. Every year, I like to give my orchestra, the orchestra with which I work, the opportunity to tackle a huge project. And this season, that huge project for us is the Fifth Symphony of Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. We're tackling the Fifth Symphony of Tchaikovsky, and we're calling it Tchaikovsky in Vermont. There he is, himself. In 1891, Tchaikovsky came to America from Russia to conduct a concert in New York City associated with the opening of Carnegie Hall. And he visited different places on the eastern side of the country. He went to Washington and Philadelphia and Niagara Falls. But I asked, what if he had come to Vermont? What would he have experienced? And to help us answer that question, the Shelburne Museum was right on hand to teach us what Vermont was like in 1891 and to give our students the opportunity to learn about Tchaikovsky in the context of our own home and in the history of our own home. We also had the opportunity, by exploring Vermont in 1891 when Tchaikovsky would have come here, to partner with former poet laureate Sid Lee, who wrote a poem for us called Tchaikovsky in Vermont from the composer's perspective that was performed at our fall concert. It's a very, very cool poem that Sid composed describing the composer's stay in a hotel in Barre, Vermont. We're going to finish our Tchaikovsky in Vermont season with a community-wide side-by-side. We're opening the doors of Ellie Long to every member of the community who happens to play an instrument and is willing to tackle the last movement of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. We're hoping to have hundreds and hundreds of people joining us, teachers, parents, multi-generations coming together for Tchaikovsky in Vermont, because that's what the Vermont Youth Orchestra is all about, intergenerational community building through orchestral and choral music making. Thank you very much.